Okay, so we're now going to be looking at records, but in Java we don't have records, so we're actually going to be looking at classes. So I'm going to create a new project called uh, books, and what I'm going to do is, here I have a public class called books, and I'm going to now use this class as a record. So at the moment, we've only been programming in the main. This is the method that gets run when you click the run button. But Java is a lot more powerful than that. We can have attributes associated to books, which means that we can create lots of books without using very much code. So I'm going to create a book class, and I'm going to give it some attributes. So underneath where it says public class books, and after the curly bracket, I'm going to define its attributes. So it's going to have a title, it's going to have a author, it's going to have a year published, and I'm going to leave it at that for now. So if we were to create a book at the moment, it would have these attributes, but at the moment they wouldn't be able to have any data go into them. So I'm going to create what's called the constructor. So at the moment, we saw the constructor being used before when we said in our array, int test scores equals new int. We saw it being used in the whenever we use the AQA console. AQA console equals new AQA console. So it's this bit here which is creating our class. So back to books, I'm going to create a public books, and you'll notice it has exactly the same name as the class name. And in here, I'm going to give some arguments. So these are the parameters, and in it, I want to be able to take in whatever people want to give as the title, the author, and the year published. So I need string. I'm going to say title in, string author in, and int year published in. And then I'm going to be able to use these to set my attributes. So I'm going to say title equals title in, author equals author in, and year published equals year published in. So my parameters, which are up at the top, have been passed to my actual attributes for my book. And if I wanted to create a new book, that would mean I could just go down to main here, and I would say books, and I might create Harry Potter. Books Harry Potter equals new books, and I now need to give it two strings and an int so that it can have its data. So I'm going to call it Harry Potter and the Deadly Shadows. I can't remember what the book's called, but it doesn't matter. Its author was J.K. Rowling. And it was published in 2003, I think. Okay, so I have a book. The variable name I've given to that book is Harry Potter, so that's how I access it. And it's a new book with this information. I can't do with it do much with it at the moment. So what I'm going to need to do is create a method to print all this information. So I'm going to create a new method up above, public void print book info, and all it's going to do is system.out.print. It's going to print the different bits of information. So it's going to print it's going to print the title, and I then call the variable. It's going to print the author. I'm going to pass it the author, and system.out.print line. It's going to print the year published plus year published. So now I have a method called print book info. So if I want to print the Harry Potter info, I just say Harry Potter dot, and look, I've got the method I made called print book info. And if I run this, it prints all my information that I passed to the constructor. If I want to create a new book, I would just declare another book. So books, random book equals new books. And again, I would pass it the information about what the title is, who the author was, and what year it was published. And I can really quickly print this information because I've already got that method set up. So although Java doesn't use records and call them records, it does make use of classes. I've been able to have a set of different data types that all relate to one object, and I've been able to then access them through the print book info and creating a instance of that book. So books, random book. So it's a bit like when we're just doing a normal data type, but instead we've made our own data type called books. So random book holds a record of the title, the author, and the year published. Okay, have a go.